CCNTV, bringing you captivating news since 2019.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, the captivating, the Christian, along with that guy over there, Brother Nate. And today is Tuesday. And what do we do on Tuesday? Talk news, politics, and bullshit that's going on all over the world. And today's key phrase is white tears, white tears, white tears. If you is a victim of white tears, today we stand in solidarity with you today. Yeah, to all the saltines, and you know who you are. Yeah, you're going through it. But anyway, welcome. Of course, your waiter or waitress will be around with your drink of choice. Mine today is apple juice and something else. But it's apple juice for the record. Okay.
Main ingredient, right? You can't describe it. As long as it's legal, you are
Leave
right.
me alone. I'm grown. Yeah, and welcome everybody. Welcome. Brother Nate, how are you? It's
I'm
been
doing quite
a
well,
week.
sir.
That's
Yes.
good. It has been a week. Welcome to everybody. Hey. Nice to see you. If I don't shout you out, it'll take a while to pop up in here. But hey, Melissa, nice to see you
Hey,
before
Melissa, how
you
you
get
doing,
all
girl?
rested. It is nice to see you. Boy, what a week it has been. White tears all around. You got Darnell trying to pressure the South African president on Wednesday to stop the white genocide of the white farmers getting killed, and we trying to figure out where the fuck that happened. When that happened, where was we? Because if they fucking killing they killing white farmers, and we ain't doing that, we ain't uprising and having a whole shut the world down. Something ain't right. Where were we? Were we sleeping? Were we not woke? I'm confused. I am so confused. Um, but yeah. So first off, I want to say Randelle Charles. Randelle, I think. The congressman out of New York that was very prominent during the Clinton years has died at the
Oh,
age of
yeah.
94.
Mhm.
He left office due to some kind of, I pay you, you pay me kind of deals that was going on with himself and some other influential political leaders out of New York. He stepped down, of course, amidst the scandal, not wanting to disrupt the Democratic Party. See how they do? They get into a little thing where necessarily it may look bad, but it may not be as bad, and they dip out. But these Republicans, they stay in it. They don't give a damn. I done I done
Dirty
stole some
drawers and
money.
all.
I didn't did some I didn't got some political funds handed to me that was more than the limited amount to do a little things, put some people in places, and what about it? And I'm still here. and go on about your business, because I'm still going to sit in my seat. I'm not going nowhere. And these, but prayers to him and his family. I mean, he lived to be 94. What a life lived. Well or not well, who's to say? But God. But I mean, 94. Some people don't even make it. So,
Right, absolutely right.
right. And
Hey,
then
Princess, how are you doing this evening?
have gained the money that you gained by sitting in the seat for as many years as you gained. Your children, grandchildren, and great grands, I'm sure they doing just fine with
Mm-hmm.
the years that you've been in Congress, and even the
Yeah,
stuff you were able to gain after and outside. I'm just saying,
right.
money out
Absolutely
there,
right.
money out there,
Everybody's ass.
a whole bunch of asses, money everywhere. So yeah, so first and foremost, I want to say that. But yeah, let's get back to Darnell and his old um we got to care for white people. Not we are the world, but we are the white world, okay? And we are the children, because that's basically what he's saying to y'all. Newsflash, this is why Elon Musk was hired in the first place. They want to make this a white agenda across the world, not just here in the United States, like it always has been. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going right now, so if I don't get to see you and say hello, I'm saying it now.
Yeah,
Hello,
I'll wave to you.
hello everybody. Um, so yeah, I thought this was very much a come to the king, kiss the ring type of shit, and then he had nerve to use fake photos and pictures of bodies from humanitarians that were killed in the Congo, right, during a civil war that was going on there, and tried to say that white farmers are being murdered in South Africa and placed in body bags. And again, where were we at when this shit was happening? What movie was this? Was this Wakanda 3? I missed it. I missed it. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous the level of, but this is what we talk about when we're looking for um merit, people with merit. This is what we talk about. This is what merit is. You falsify documents in front of the largest stage in the world to say what? Something's happening to white people. Let's get these white people out of here and give them safe haven in the United States, where it's more, it's white enough. We don't need no more white people. We could barely stand the ones we got. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the ones, the saltines, not the Ritz. uh,
There's a difference.
there is a difference. There is a difference. Saltine and Ritz, they
I,
two different.
I was gonna say some are salty and what?
Some are
All the
still
motherfuckers
salty,
give you
but they
high blood
slightly
pressure.
buttery. They get right.
Yeah,
They
that is
both give
true.
you high blood
Yeah,
pressure.
definitely some do have more flavor.
Don't eat too much. You be messed up. You be out here looking crazy. Um, but yeah, I just come on, man. Like, it's in the Grio. Please check out that article. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. What are your thoughts on the South African vice president coming to the White House
That's
to be talked about him allowing white farmers to be murdered?
that's because he obviously didn't pay any attention to even other countries' history. That's what it pays. You need to know what's going on in these other places, especially where we are, and
Yeah.
we're everywhere. So always keep your ear open, because of course, as soon as he put those pictures up, there are people just sitting there waiting.
Right.
They're
It's
just
like,
they're
where they
just
gonna
sitting
get
there
these
waiting.
bodies from? Right. Where they gonna get these
Hmm.
bodies from? And lo and behold, this mofo took old pictures of people, humanitarians being killed
Right.
during a civil war,
Hmm.
and said, "Oh, those are white farmers' bodies," and got caught in a lie. But
But
then
but I,
nobody
but I
else.
like how that president allowed him to dig himself in
Yeah.
because it just shows the world this motherfucker's a liar. He
Right.
lies about everything. You can't trust anything. And if you're on that level,
No, sir.
you know,
But I mean, but
he
that's
shows
the
it for what.
thing. That's his. I think that's the mo here. It's you can't trust me. You can't trust nothing because everybody lies. We all lie. And it's just like
No, but there's levels to lying.
this.
Because I'll tell you straight up, yes, I will lie, and I will lie for certain people. I'm serious. I've always told certain people that, yeah, I have no problem. I said, I'm gonna let you know that I'm a lie, so don't fuck me over.
Right. Right.
Plain and simple. I mean, because you do that to protect co-workers,
Yeah.
family
That's true.
members.
Yeah.
So we all lie. We all,
Right.
and some of us take those lies to the grave. Them deathbed
The
confessions
deathbed
have fucked up a
confession.
lot of
Right.
family. Just
Right.
keep it, just keep it quiet. It's like I got something to tell you before I go.
Before
Get
I
over
go,
here now and tell you face to face.
your grandma ain't your grandma. You be like, huh? What?
Yeah, but
Um,
the lies that he tells, they definitely they affect people's lives.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a dog whistle. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
a dog whistle to people who are already disenfranchised, whose land was already stolen from them, who just
Right.
came out and still dealing with years of apartheid to then do what? Inflame them some more to have some more
Mhm.
shit going on. It's like, come on, man. Like, I get it. You don't like us as much as these people over here think, oh, Trump for blacks and blacks for Trump. He don't like you, motherfuckers. He does not
Mm-mm.
like you at all. If he could wipe you all away like this, he would. If he can put
Oh,
you
he's
somewhere
trying.
all together in one place, he would.
He is definitely trying.
He is. For sure he is. For sure they are. And you could sit here and talk about, oh, that's not really what he doing, or in Chicago where they're telling the black mayor it's too many black people working in your administration. You're gonna have to change that. Why?
Mhm.
If you get to choose the cabinet, you get to choose, and they all lily white folks with merit but don't know shit about shit like the leaked information or phone conversation with the secretary who's dealing with the fucking social security talking about he don't know shit about running social security or what it entails. He had to Google it.
Thank God for Google. Crazy. Crazy.
Who's getting a job where you are in charge, the head honcho, the numero uno of a whole department that depends on your money to live and breathe, other than the rich white folks that just use it as extra spending money to throw in their stocks and gamble and all that other extra curricular activities. But the ones that really live off their social security, you are the one in charge, and you got the head job because, of course, you kissed ass and gave some money and was a total Trump supporter to the point where he placed you in head of this department and you don't know nothing about it. You ain't even do the due diligence enough to do your research beforehand to prepare yourself for what you embarked on. You just, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. What is Social Security? What am I supposed to be fucking doing? But yet y'all knocking people left, right, and center who actually would know about the job and maybe help him along the way, fucking train them as they go. But y'all getting rid of the motherfuckers is one, you don't like them, either skin color or whatever wise, gender or whatever it is, and you feel like another white person who don't know shit about shit should be in that place. So now you got two dumb or three dumb or four or five dumb motherfuckers in charge of a whole department that don't know shit about shit. All they know is that they're white and they deserve it because they earned it by merit. What the fuck is going on here? It's not making sense at all. And I don't care how you slice it, dice it. The shit is fucking crazy. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good.
I just it's crazy, crazy, crazy to me. Well, in other news, Darnell, because Darnell's all over the news this week, is accused once
It's a
again.
holiday. That's why, because it's a
Yeah,
holiday.
I think so. I think so. Once again, accused of unethically utilizing or enriching himself as he is president of the United States, as he held a crypto dinner for investors. Newsflash, he's been doing the shit. Nothing has changed.
It's the
He's
same
been
thing.
enriching himself since the first time he was president. That's the only reason why he wanted to get in back in, was to one, stop the legal shit that was coming after him, and two, because it's the cash cow.
Right.
You get
Remember, he
campaign
never
funds.
divested first time, and of course, you never heard about it this time.
Never
That's a
stepped
standard.
down
That's a
as he said
standard
he was
thing.
going to do. Never did any of that. As a matter of fact, he charged. And I want to know how much he's going to charge in this time, if we even know those figures. But the first go around, he charged the Secret Service every time they went to a golf place and things of that nature to stay, to protect him, any of that. He charged. He made sure they only went to Trump properties. So the government money, your money, went to his pockets.
Because they would charge a room rate also.
Yeah. Room rate, stay, security detail had to, like put up things, and they charged them for everything. Every camera, every hole they had to drill, everything got charged. Who paid for it? You did. Who received it? He did. And again, he's been golfing more than he's been sitting in that office. Okay. But yeah, so real quick, he had a dinner with investors, cryptocurrency. Yeah, making money. But he's supposed to be the president, right? And groceries and things are supposed to be going down. Your gas is supposed to be going down. You tell me how that's working out. Still waiting. Still waiting on that. Other news, Cory Booker. Cory Booker's facing some backlash because he voted for Charles Kushner. Charles Kushner to be the ambassador
of France.
France, yes. Oh, speaking of France, we'll talk about that in a second. But to be the ambassador of France, Charles Kushner, for those of you who don't know, is what's the? I don't want to say Eric Kushner, but it's not. What is the man's name?
Ghoul, the one that's married to
the one that's married to Ivanka Trump. Jared Kushner. His father. Remember, his father was, for those of you who remember or don't remember, let me refresh. His father was arrested and jailed for basically the same shit Donald Trump does, but he didn't get away with it. He been in jail, sitting in jail, chilling for years. And towards the end of Donald Trump's first term as president, he pardoned, on his way out, he pardoned Jared Kushner's dad for his federal crimes. Now, granted, a pardon is saying basically, I did it, shame on me, thank you, I'll go about my business. But that's what a pardon is. It doesn't mean you didn't do it. You're basically saying you did it and you can go about your business. But yeah, so pretty much he was in front of the Senate for a vote to be the ambassador to France, and Cory Booker voted for him. Now, everybody giving Cory Booker hell. Now, Cory Booker can't take too much. He only got one good eye. The other eye be skating all over the place. So don't do too much for Cory Booker. He's got to trying to focus his vision to keep both eyes straight so they don't cross. Now, listen. I don't blame Cory. Come with me, y'all. You can't blame Cory. Okay? Look at it how it is. The motherfuckers right there already have the majority. So it really don't matter what the fuck Cory Booker vote, right? It don't. Like, it really don't. I like how sometimes Democrats like to throw themselves in an uproar over stuff that's like, it really don't make no sense because they already had the majority anyway. So it's like he was going to get confirmed either way you look at it. But the one thing I can say and how I can look at it and say, well, hell, fuck. If I want them to just burn the shit up and fuck it up so we could be like, it's all on you. You did this. Let them have it. Let them have it. Give them the vote. Give it to them. They got 2 years. Give it to them. Nothing you're going to do in these 2 years, no fight back, is going to stop their train. You gave up on that in the election. You gave up on that 2 years prior to the main election. You gave up on that a long time ago. So now don't act like now you're concerned about the shit they're going to do. That train has left. That train is gone. That train is like a Japanese bullet plane. It is out of here. You're not catching that motherfucker. So all you got to do now is sit on the fucking bullet train and relax. So if that means voting for the motherfuckers, vote for them. Vote for them. You sitting up there, no. What is that going to do? What's that going to prove? It's going to prove to my constituents that I voted no. It's going to happen regardless. Let them do it. Now, what you should be doing is down at your constituents saying, yeah, we'll let them do it. They got it. We'll let them do it. Let them burn it down. But when it starts to burn and you feel that burn on your ass, don't have amnesia when midterms come. Feel that burn on your ass when you're going back down to them polls and realize you lost your job because of this administration. You lost your health care because of this administration. You lost everything. Your 401k that you thought was nuzzled, your benefits from VA to everything else that you thought was secure, when you realize they're no longer secure, I want you to have that fire and go do what you need to go do. So, yeah, I don't blame Cory, his right or his left eye, whatever one was looking at the documents. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Googly-eyed and all. Blame Cory Booker at all. I'm with you, Cory. The right one and the left one. We here. We is here.
No,
but anyway, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
No, I wish that these politicians would explain to their constituents their train of thought and the reasoning why they do or vote or don't vote the way that they do. Because a lot of people we can't read your mind.
Right.
We don't know the ins and outs, and all the small double talk of the government.
Mm-hmm.
So it would clear up a lot of things, like I said, because some people, this is new. All this shit is new. They don't understand the ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely that's something that they need to work on.
Yeah.
But because it sounds so negative coming after that 24-hour filibuster. He was riding such a high horse
right
during that time, and now it's like you voted to put this man in, and it's like, well, there really isn't anything I can do, but
the filibuster is all you could do. That's what I'm saying.
That's all, but it was just more symbolic than anything else because it did nothing. Right. It did nothing, but it keeps his foot in the door on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe this is somebody that we can work with, if he tries to push something that he may want to work on, Right. I can see that you try to pick up some allies here and there. You're playing a real complex mind game, and you're just trying not to totally push yourself out of where you can't work with anyone. So you always leave that, because that they have some friends. Actually they probably have a lot of friends that we don't even know about.
Right. That is true.
So
I have friends on both sides of the aisle.
And that's all that they say. you know. But if I can sway and get this person to that person, maybe this will be enough to block this bill.
Right.
So if they definitely came to the point, like I said, they would explain themselves, um, to their people, just to us, especially after the fact, once everything has already transpired. This is what I was planning on doing.
Right.
This is how this works.
Yeah.
This is how we're doing. Everything is not like block this, block that, block that. It's like, no, we have this coming up down the pipeline, and we really need to get some movement on it.
Right. Yeah, that part is true.
Mm-hmm.
But then too, I can also see them not saying anything because they don't want to tell the playbook, in a sense.
Yeah, but you know what? It really doesn't matter with this. I mean, because they can do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah, they really can.
But then it puts in the people's minds. Oh, I see. Yes, when you do look at it this way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't even have water to put the fire out, and you don't piss enough to put the fire out, you utilize what you can.
You dripping.
Yeah, that's about it.
Out a steady stream.
I've been shaking it, and it's flaring up.
Mm-hmm. Poor things. Well, speaking of France, Mcronone, get your ass in here. President Mcronone, the president of France. They having trouble in France now. And I thought Paris supposed to be. You think it was trouble?
It might be. There might be some love ties later on. That was like, that was hot.
Now, because I was listening to some other stuff when this actually dropped, I'm gonna say shout out to Uppity for her coming at old girl on the thing, and I apologize for the volume and I tried to take it out, but it just ain't work. But anyway, pay attention to the video clip. You can listen to the voice in the background, but pay attention to the video clip. Okay, and go. Oh, I turned it down. Good. So you can't hear it. So as you can see the face, the mush to the face. Like, pay attention to the mushing of the face right now. Just get out of my face. Out of my face. Get out of my face. And his immediate kind of like, oh shit, camera's rolling. Yes, the door was wide the fuck open. So that was President Macron of France, right? And his much older wife. Now, I didn't know this man was 47 years old. My God, today. I guess this good what they say, good black don't crack, because my God, I mean, I'll be 44. And that man, Jesus. Well, I don't know. And his wife is 71 years old. 71.
She's a cougar.
A cougar. She's the old something. But yeah,
it may not be what it seems.
Yeah.
Hot sex on the plane tonight.
Yeah, that old sour French cheese is real.
I was gonna say that don't be rising.
It's moving, but yeah. So the international world is talking about President Macron and his wife, Brigitte Macron, and their incident as they embarked on their tour of Vietnam. The plane landed. The doors open, and immediately that's what happened. And everybody was kind of like, oh shit. But there has been rumors that their relationship has been a little rocky as of late. And I guess this just brought, more attention to it. But
I was foreplay.
Shout out to that man for keeping a level head and not turning around and doing the Diddy and getting caught on camera. So I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. I don't even know what to say.
She's probably mad at me. I told you to order that last case. Now we can't get any more.
You idiot! It's just like, oh damn. Yeah.
Now we have to use virgin olive oil.
Right. Diddy used up all the oil. Y'all let Diddy use up all the oil. Like, So, oh my God. So I don't know. I was just a bit confused. I was just like, oh, poor guy.
And he was too.
Yeah, he was very
But no more
confused.
confused than that flight attendant. She got the fuck out the way though. She knew what the
Well, she did. She was about to go inside to be like, oh, Mr. President. She said, whoa, let me get the fuck back.
Because can you imagine you witness some shit like that and they got to write a report
Right.
on what you saw.
Like, I ain't see shit. What happened? I don't know. I was getting the bags out the bottom. I don't know.
I ain't even look up.
I ain't see nothing. Don't ask me nothing. I ain't see it. I ain't seen it. Speaking about ain't seen it. White folks, do you feel like white folks are giving us black fatigue? Do you feel fatigued enough? Brother Nate, do you feel fatigued enough? Do you feel it in your chest? Like a cold
tight.
coming? Like a cold coming?
It feels tight. Mm-hmm. Especially when I used to go to Walmart. Because all kinds. That's all I got to say is all kinds.
Yeah. So basically this article talks about our language and things being stolen, little, our little urban things, not necessarily language as in, diaspora language, but our little things that we kind of keep to ourselves are now stolen. Now woke has become a criminalized thing to being quote unquote black, when it just for us meant being aware of what's going on and what's around you, and other things. And of course, they're trying to now capitalize on this as being that they're so oppressed by all the inclusion and the diversity that they, as in saltines, are so overwhelmed that they're starting to feel the fatigue of blackness. Where are we finding these people? I don't. The tears, the white tear brigade, is really getting to me. Now these are supposed to be mainly strong arm, male macho, Sunday dinner, beaver cleaver white men, right? Why are they crying? Why are they so emotional? Why is everything getting to them? If they so strong and macho and manly and everything is making everybody weak and feminizing everything, and these are supposed to be manly macho men, why are they crying? Did they not make up the whole phrase of pick yourself up by your own bootstraps? Then what's the problem? Brother Nate, please help me. You are the wisdom here, because I
stay the fuck out of our spaces. You won't be stressed. You always in our fucking business. You always stop being nosy. If you want to look from afar. Look from afar.
But they can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. It is ingrained in them that they must be the overseers. If they are not the masters of the plantation, they are then the overseers. So either one or two of those things are ingrained in them. So they cannot help themselves without minding. There's so much got to know about our business and in our cultures that every so often they like to move into our neighborhoods because they think it's so hip and urban and cool. And let's put a coffee shop here. And let's do all this other stuff. And then after you do all this gentrification, what happens? You get bored with it and you move back out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Stay out of our business.
They can't help it. They oversee a spirit. It's just too strong.
Strong, yeah. That is definitely genetic. But now I'll tell you one thing, I understand why our slang or our AAV, African American vernacular, why our words change so quickly. Because they co-opt them. They co-opt them. And you don't want them to know everything that you're saying.
No.
So stop teaching them. Shit. Let
It's
them
like
figure it out
code
eventually.
switching. It is literally
Yeah.
like code switching. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. And now I understand why I used to. First of all, I never understood the reason why we had slang in the first place. But yes, we do have our own language, and we
Right.
have to. And this is the reason why.
Mm.
This is the reason why. But it is. It's real simple. Stay the fuck out of our business. It wasn't that simple enough. You understood that. That was in plain. Let's say the King's English. Stay it out of
Say it's
our
out of thy
mother
fucking business.
our fucking business.
You wanker.
Mm, You're dumb.
Speaking of the King's English and stay out of thine business, again, you have the actual Department of Justice, the Civil Rights Division. Take a breath. The Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, under an all-white saltine regime, is investigating a black mayor in Chicago because, that's right, I said Chicago, because he got too many black folks in his cabinet administration for them. So much so that they want to do an investigation on all the people in his cabinet. Ain't nobody asking him why he got all them lily white folks in his cabinet, but the one black person that's in charge of HUD, which he's going to cancel too. So hold on to y'all Section 8s because y'all might lose those. But I don't understand. Are we not doing a civil rights investigation on the president? Are we not doing a civil rights investigation on Sarah Huckabee Humpback Sanders and her big old ogre looking ass? Are we looking in her investigation regarding her cabinet full of white folks? Ain't a black folk in sight? Or all of the other white mayors or governors that have all white cabinets? Are we not looking into them? But we looking into Chicago, right? Now, thing that gets me and it makes me say, why is it always Chicago? It kind of makes you think, why is it what about Chicago? What is in Chicago that they want? That they are determined to get by any means. Shooting it up every weekend. Trying to say that the mayor is inadequate. And yeah, he may not be the greatest. I mean, granted, nobody gets a open book, test on how to be a mayor. You're dealing with a whole bunch of different people who are money hungry and all types of stuff, or used to getting things their way and dealing a certain way. And you come in and you kind of gotta like either work with some, get rid of some, or kind of find a way, a medium to make the city work. So it's not an easy job. With that said, why are you coming at him for having a cabinet that is diverse? What's wrong with that? Your cabinet's not diverse. Ain't nobody asking you no questions. But you're going to send the Justice Department, the Department of Civil Rights, to investigate a black man's right who won an election, voted on, why he has black people or people of color in his cabinet and very few white folks. He don't like y'all. They don't like y'all. They use y'all for what they can get from y'all. Other than that, they could just do away with you all. This don't make no sense. You got two twin boys out in the mountains of Georgia that was murdered, and ain't nobody doing nothing in the Justice Department. But you over here worried about a black man who was elected and he chose to pick his cabinet, and while there are no white people in his cabinet, and you want to do a thorough investigation. Thoroughly investigate these motherfuckers that are disappearing and ended up dead. Thoroughly investigate that. Thoroughly investigate that young man that was found rolled up in a fucking mat that we still haven't found out who the fuck murdered him. Investigate that. There's plenty of shit you can investigate the Civil Rights Department. Plenty of shit. But of course you're not going to, because that's too much like right. Because if it's white, it's right. If it's not, it's got to be changed. It's reverse racism. That's exactly what they use in the article. Reversed racism. What the fuck is even that?
What an idiot! You big dummy!
What is that? Reverse racism? I'll wait. Like, shit's dumb. But anyway, I digress. Go ahead, sir. Any words?
Is there still a department? That's what I wanted to know. Or is it just two people? You could say the title sounds nice, but is there actually a department?
Right.
Because they've gotten rid of so much. They've disbanded so much. You have two people, and they're probably not even black.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like the whole Department of the Civil Rights Division, I'm sure they ain't no black people in that department no more.
Then there's only two people that still work there. That's it.
Make, not in the head part that make the decisions. The word comes down the pipeline. I'm sure of it. They done clean shop with that.
Yeah. And the office is probably in a closet somewhere.
In the closet. That's befitting a lot of them. You might find Lindsey Graham in that closet. All right. So
or in DC.
He probably was over
there.
Yeah. So and again, speaking of this, because we're on the race train right now. All right. It's been 5 years. Can you believe it? 5 years since the George Floyd protest due to his murders and that whole shakeup in the kind of law enforcement and the investigations and body cams and all that stuff that was implemented, which now, thanks to, you wonderful voters, we're about to go away and we about to go back to square one. So all that for nothing, because even the people of Minneapolis and of other places say that really nothing has changed.
Right.
Nothing has changed. For those of you who, probably was asleep like Joe Biden has been lately, George Floyd was murdered, point blank and period. He was not anything else but murdered due to aggressive actions by an officer by the name of Derek Chauvin, who stayed on his neck literally for 9 minutes as the man screamed for life until he was lifeless. And even after he was lifeless, he still remained on him. He is currently, and I say that very loosely, in a federal prison serving time for the murder he committed to George Floyd. However, I'm pretty sure pretty soon we're going to hear the words, he's been pardoned, from President Trump. The only reason why they don't want to say it right now because they know all hell's going to break loose. And that's not what they want right now. They want to make sure they put the things in place so when they do it, all hell breaks loose and they get justified to do what they want to do following that. But they're waiting. That's just my thoughts. But it's sad to the point where it's like you talk all the time about marching and all that stuff, that those times have passed because there's nothing that comes from that. Nothing at all. But grieving people, murders, victims paying victims, to continue a cycle of the same stuff. When will this end? Bro, any words on this? Any thoughts?
Yeah, it was always designed to be a temporary thing.
Mm.
I think the only thing that really magnified the whole incident was the fact that it was televised, and it was televised all over the world.
Right,
Because
right,
because I know here it had been 5 years since the Freddie Gray
right,
incident, and people remembered
right.
because that's the only reason why that's the only reason why Baltimore hate ashes because them motherfuckers. I remember that day that shit because you heard me tell it a couple of times. I remember that day that shit broke out.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember that, and they kind of hushed the reason what
Why
really
it happened.
why it happened and what ignited it.
Right.
But we luckily had the memory of just that time and the tension in the city. That when that happened with Freddie Gray, that it was peaceful. It was very, very peaceful because we didn't want to go through that. We were already scarred, from that going on. But it was always meant to be a temporary thing. All of these things. It sounds good. Everything is a bottom dollar. How much?
Yeah.
After they did the assassination of his character,
Right.
and just the fact that we also found out that this medium that we use is it definitely works for us when we can utilize it for real important stuff that we can get the word out because it's happening now. It's really happening now. You see it, but you don't pay attention to it now because you're used to it. It's second nature.
Right. Very true. Very true. Sad but true.
That's the bad part.
Yeah.
That's it. And that you knew it's going to roll back. You knew some things were going to happen.
Yeah. Very true.
And then when certain things are lined up, it was going to be exacerbated. So not surprised at all.
So we just celebrated the beginning of the summer months with the past holiday of Memorial Day. And
You could have fooled the hell out of me. I had to close my windows again. It's cold. Shit. Every time I turn around, it's hot and cold, hot and cold.
Right. It has been a little nip, but Memorial Day is the start of the summer time. This is the holiday that we pay respects to the fallen veterans, holiday which was created not by them but by us, to commemorate the fallen victims of every war, but mainly of course the Civil War, but every war. And it used to be cookouts and celebrations and all that kind of stuff and parades to honor the fallen military soldiers. And of course it's been taken away as always and made into their own little thing now. But just for news flash for those, just to give it a little educated moment, therefore veterans that have passed on, so to honor the legacy of those that have passed in battle, not those that are living. So you don't call living veterans and tell them thank you for your service on Memorial Day because they're not dead. Okay.
Oh, but not only that, because at work, like I said, we have everybody at work, right? And they were like, "You have a happy holiday," and it's like it's not that type of holiday.
It's not the right. Not the type
and then he explains what now, and I would not expect them to understand it. They're not from this country. I would not expect them to understand that. It's like, oh, okay, because we hear, barbecues and all the rest of that type of thing, going on. It's like, no, I said it's a day of remembrance.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. I said, but you get those sales and everything. They
right. They use
we're capitalists.
right.
Anything to make a sale. anything. And it's like, oh no,
Thunder.
it's not like that. I said it's the day we remember our fallen soldiers. I said that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a solemn day. But
Right.
I noticed that it's been relatively quiet. Even people they were like barbecuing and things like that. And the weekend was nice.
Right.
Yeah, people spend time with their families. I did see
Mm.
that. But then we also had prom season,
Yeah.
so they have
Yeah.
that kind of stuff going on. But it's been for the past couple of years, Memorial Day has been extremely quiet
Right. Right.
as
Very
far
true.
as the first day, because they'll push that first day of summer
Right.
type thing. So let's
Yeah.
get crunked, that
Yeah.
type of thing, and it wasn't even that.
Right. Well, not for
Because
the
these
gators here in DC.
uh,
Dear God. But
oh, they were
needless
getting crunked.
But needless to say, Kaya
And
and T.S.
I,
Madison has done their best to reignite
no,
that.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think it's fantastic. I think it's fucking fantastic
to
because that
reignite
has
the
been
feud.
quiet. But go ahead.
Yes, yeah, to reignite their feud in this back and forth between the two. Kaya accusing T.S. Madison of stopping her bag during one of her performances where she was invited to perform her neck and her back at this
So
particular club in DC.
was it
Which
$1,200 to some lemon
$1,200
pepper
and
wings?
little pepper
To some
wings.
lemon pepper
Yes.
wings.
But the way T.S. Madison drug her for her life was hilariously funny. And I mean, granted, $1,200 or whatever it was, it not to poke fun to the amount, because of course, whatever, it's money, it's a gig for her, that's fine. But again, to accuse somebody of stopping something like that, it's like, why would she need to do that? Why would anybody need to do that? If they focused on themselves, why would they need to concern themselves with little old you and what you got going on? You know what I'm saying? Like that is just so, and it made me think of like the beef sector, how they always think like, if I'm over here, what the fuck I look like worrying about what the fuck you doing over there? I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're not my concern anymore.
right.
We're not in
Not at
that we're not in
all.
that partnership. So
We're not even in that space. You over here got movies, TV shows, and guest appearances on shows. You're actually doing stuff. You see my face. What do I look like over here saying, hey, make sure she don't get that $1,200 and them lemon pepper wings, burn them. Like, what?
cancel her room
You
on New York Avenue.
Right? Cancel her room. You know what I'm saying? Like come, like the level of, people can be petty, yes, but that level is like, girl, you going there to sing songs that's like about 23, half my age. Go ahead. Like, go ahead. That moment has passed. Instead of just, having your show, not even mentioning it, it's like you reignite this thing where you accuse this person who happens to be in the city at the same time, doing two different events that, they tried to make they tried to make us not pay you and stop your back. Girl, do you like, why is this even got to be a thing? Why would you even repeat that to an audience of people to go viral? Of course, because you're trying to be relevant, instead of just performing and doing what you need to do and going about your business. You could even mention that on maybe back home when the whole thing was over, if you felt the need. But to bring that up at that space at that time, it was like, girl, was you looking for more press? Were you looking for more attention?
Yeah, she was looking for more press and attention. This is the perfect way to do it. What she need to do now that she done turned everybody's head. Everybody's like, because nobody besides who's on social media pays her that much attention, outside of that circle. Now, what she need to do is go home, put them little fingers to work, and give us a nice summer bop. Okay, we need
Lemon pepper
something
wings.
some
Lemon pepper wings.
play on words, play on what But she need to go home and give us a nice summer bop, something a little different. Now you're much older. You're a 50-something-year-old woman. You need to take that white knit. That was not flattering. That was not flattering. I was hoping. I hope she had double pads on that crotch because that was white she was wearing. You know, it's hard to get them stains out. But anyhow, I mean, she has a nice body for a 50-plus-year-old woman, but baby, them days are gone. Learn to let go of the ghost. Okay, you know. But now it's time for her to, for lack of words, grow up a little bit. Your music needs to change. The reason why her music is still not, first of all, it's regional.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't really escape. And with these rappers, you look real.
Oh, okay. I think you froze there. Or was that me or was that you? I think you froze, brother. All right. So, yeah, like I don't know. I'll whatever y'all say in the chat, I'll kind of, if you want to share your thoughts, that's fine with me. But I just think it's just a bit much. She's a little too old for that. Are you good, sir? Okay, yeah, you're moving. I see you.
Okay.
All right, there you go. Because you were frozen.
I'm back.
You were like,
everything went out. Yeah, right. I mean, it's time for the music to mature a little bit. She's got a little bit of life under her belt now. Start singing some stuff about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe my old back.
Yeah, or crack my back.
My dropping pussy.
Yeah, right. And my dripping dropping pussy. But I thought it was when I first heard it, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. Because we haven't, you know,
right.
Granted, what they had was great. That was fantastic. Because, you know, and all of y'all know that y'all used to break your fucking neck when we were all trapped in the house during COVID time to see that shit and see who in the hell they were going to hack up. And I was sitting there and I was clutching my pearls with both hands. I was like, no, this motherfucker didn't just say this shit.
Yeah.
Yes. Those were the days. And we enjoyed them. But everything comes to an end, you know, creative differences or whatever.
And then I think, too, a lot of times people get scared of the trajectory of things and they aren't prepared to know how to handle them. And that is one thing I don't know her well, but that is one thing I definitely sense of Kaya, that she's
afraid of success.
Yeah, she is comfortable in a certain area, but if there's a moment where it may project her outside of her comfort zone, she will immediately regress.
Well, she had a partner. That's what I don't understand. That's why you partner up with somebody. You can lean on each other. You don't have to be the person in the forefront, but you can hold on to that person. I mean, because they're more
right, but then you
skilled and developed in that area.
Right, but at the same time, some people feel like you would need to, in that realm of success and area, there's going to be a point where you're going to have to stand on your own in them same spaces
eventually, or you're comfortable enough because she has her music. She could funnel that into her music. Because Next Caller was the shit. I enjoyed the fuck out of that song. Yes, Lord. Yes, like I said. It was I definitely enjoyed that shit. When that came, they would be. I said, "Oh, right, this is like good time. This is like old times again."
Right.
You know, but yeah, I wish that they would have stuck together a little bit longer because they definitely left a void, and just some of the shit people were trying to fill it in. It's just not the same. It was not the same.
It don't hit like it used to. And speaking of hitting like it used to, a white Mississippi man called himself hanging out at a lounge with a whole bunch of us and slewing racial epithets at people. And I don't need to read the rest of the article because, as you know what happened. The same thing that happened at that riverboat. The people came together, united, and whooped ass. Okay,
That's right.
and that man got his ass beat. But yeah, I good old Holly Springs. Okay,
Yeah, they beat him, then they stripped him.
yeah,
You know, they ran them pockets. They got them drinks on the house.
right. Oh my god, but I mean, just absolutely crazy. But the level of confidence for some of these people, I just don't.
Well, he had that liquor in him. He had that liquor in him. He figured he was safe in Trump's America.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's great again.
but
It's great again.
yeah, but that's I mean, but that's the sad part that they seem to misunderstand. It's not that America that you know
Oh no,
that
it's
you
vastly different.
read about. It is vastly different. You're not dealing with those same type. And granted, the John Lewis's of the world and all those were great people, but they were definitely great people for that time.
The time has changed.
But yeah, that time is now gone. That old marching, that old turn of the cheek, that old you threw a brick at me, but I still love you because you're my brother in Christ. That's out the window.
A brother and who?
White Jesus.
Okay.
But yeah, that is just
Those chains are being broken also,
yeah.
which gives you gives you permission to slap the fuck out of somebody.
Slap the
You
hell
ain't
out
got to
of
worry
people.
about you ain't got to worry about repenting
Right.
or anything else.
But I mean, because it goes like even with one of these stories here, where there was no arrest made when these white nationalists uh, chose to do a hate march or a patriot uh, marching or holding, and in Kansas City, Missouri, it's like
Look, we might have to
you
boycott U-Haul too,
you have right.
because these motherfuckers keep renting to these bastards.
Right, exactly. You have all these kind of senses where you if we come together as a group to protest something, there's these massive military groups and police and all this extra kind of thing that always ends up being somewhat volatile, either by the police aggression or some members of the protest who are not really members of this protest breaking shit and doing shit and getting recorded doing it, that they're not, a part of the group, but they want to turn some shit up. That when you do stuff like this and you have white nationalists, pure hatred, marching across the country, nobody does nothing. The police are there watching. I mean, we all know why, because they're part of the group too. They just in their
Right.
clothes.
That's why they cover their faces.
Right. They're just in their clothes. That's why they all keep their faces
And they wear their
covered.
Wranglers.
And they
from
right.
Walmart.
And their
cheap.
blue polos, because that's so American. It's so American and so saltine. But yeah, this shit is it's ridiculous at this point. It really is. And I think when will we get tired of it? Like, when will we just be like, you know what? I done had enough.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we
you know,
meet? Mhm.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, why don't we meet their aggression? Like, I like how the I don't want to call them the new Black Panther Party, but the more militant Black groups that are teaching the young people, men and women, how to shoot, and are meeting a lot of these, even some of those, what they call them, the Israelites, some of them, they're meeting these same white supremacy hate groups at their marches with their people and just standing there like, you want to march? And then they want to retreat back, and use the cover of the police to then go running back. Yeah, we need to start meeting them. No, you can't come in here with that. We're not allowing you to come here with that. Just as much as, we try to take back our streets from violence and things of that nature, we need to start doing the same thing to these white mofos. No, you can't come in here with that. Keep that over there. Why don't you go in your richy white neighborhoods and walk around and tell Jews will not replace us and all that shit? Do that in your neighborhoods and see how quickly somebody gets on the phone and have you guys removed because No, I'm getting the mayor on the phone right now. Oh my God, they're not doing this.
White people, that shit.
Yeah. Well, white people in their shit. They'll let you do it in your neighborhood, but they won't allow it done in there. No, you go to your neighborhood and do that. You go downtown where your white people like to window shop and this downtown is so historic. You go downtown doing that shit. But you won't. You'll go in neighborhoods where you think you're safe or you got the cover of the police. No. Turn around with that. Don't come down. Just like they do sundown towns. You might not want to be around here. Go on about your business before you get a cap in your ass. Go on about your
closed
business.
at 6 o'clock.
Like, it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, we need to start handling like Bambi's handling them Karens in the woods. You did see that, didn't you?
I did.
That Bambi stomped the fuck out of this woman in the woods.
Yes,
I thought Bambi had. This is a deer, a female deer, which usually aren't that violent.
That aggressive,
Usually,
it's
usually
the males.
But of course, there was a baby by, and Karen probably walked up to that baby and said, "Oh, you're so cute. Don't you want to come home with me?
Don't you want to come home, Miss Millie?
Your
kids are so nice and so clean.
You kids clean. That's right." And she stomped the fuck out of that woman in them woods. I thought it was a dog that she had hemmed up. Yeah, but I didn't know it was Karen. She was drum rolling that bitch right on her head.
That was Miss Millie.
Right.
That was what Sophia wanted to do to Miss Millie. That was the spirit of Sophia.
What they call it, the outtakes?
Yeah.
Because she was literally doing that.
Yeah, she was. Right in her head.
But I got a beef with the cameraman. That motherfucker was no help. He gonna film it. You ain't gonna call nobody. You ain't gonna throw the phone at him. He was too afraid to walk over there.
You just sitting there, just watching it. Oh, honey. Oh, God.
No, he was thinking about. I told you, dumbass. Leave the fucking animals. We got too much shit at home as it is.
Told your wife.
Then he was probably looking at that policy too. He was like, "Yeah, I can get out of that and get my Ford truck with the extended bed.
I could marry the babysitter. Finally, Jesus Christ." Go ahead, baby. Keep going. But yeah, they just, ridiculous. All that kind of, "Oh, you're so sweet. Don't you want to? Your children are so clean. Get my children out of here." And she wailed her ass. There was no.
Yeah, we gotta have that dough energy.
Spirit of the dough, okay? Spirit of the dough. Rest with Sophia from The Color Purple and that whole scene.
I want to see what the fuck she looked like afterwards, though, because she was bopping her all in her head.
Black and blue. All kinds
she had to get stitches and shit.
She probably looked how Martin looked on that episode when he was
his face is all swollen.
His face was all swollen, and he was like, "Gina, give me a kiss, baby." And she was like, "Ooh." "Kiss me, baby." She's like, "I'm not gonna kiss you." All them speeding out to your fucking head, bitch.
Whoa.
You got it. Well,
but had her on the ground.
Had
her on the ground. Don't think you say it's run, bitch, run.
Right. Run. Run. That's about it. I don't really even want to talk about Trump pardoning another person who was convicted of bribery, of a Virginia sheriff who was convicted of bribery and serving a 2-year sentence for basically bartering favors for people who was donating to his campaign and run for sheriff to give them deputy positions and things of that nature. Got busted and been in jail for 2 years, and he is pardoning him. So yeah, basically, yeah, when you have power and you do corrupt shit and illegal shit, you can get out, and the rest of us will sit and pay for it because you try
you're
to
going
do
to pay
that.
for
So
it one
we
way or
do.
the other. People that have no background, and corrupt.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I think that's all I got. That's all I got for that. That is all I got for that. So now, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with some YouTube stuff in the segment we like to call "Now Who Said That?" Because it's a lot. It's a lot. Everything I ain't gonna get into because I don't care that much. But anyway, let's get to it.
Hey, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
All right. So here's a segment of the show that I don't normally do too much, but where we talk about YouTube stuff and everything else that's like out there. All right. So in the world of YouTube, what the hell's going on? That I know of. Ness lost a channel. And what's the name? Jay Dunn has been gloating that she is the one that took the channel down.
I was getting ready to say that.
Now, I don't have a dog in the fight either way, right? I really don't. But there are two things that I have an issue with in this. One, it's the beef sector, right? And if you can't take a roast, a gag, and a drag, or whatever else comes your way, and either stand in it, then what are you doing, right? Because it's mighty funny, and this is just my observation, so be mad if you want to. It's mighty funny that you can take this woman's channel, right, down for, dragging you or saying stuff about you that you disagree with or whatever the case may be. However, the woman that was for years, okay, posting your mother's burial site, talking about the death of your mother, talking about all these things that one would think the no-brainer, no go, no pass go. We ain't never crossing paths. You have sat on her panel, you have talked to her, you have engaged with her, you have all these things like water under the bridge type of situation. So I'm confused because it almost makes you start to think, well, was there something else going on? Because you really mad. You mad. You know what I'm saying? Like your past just, I'm a little upset at you. You're like mad. Because it's funny to me how you don't have that same kind of vitriol and smoke for someone who talked about your deceased mother constantly on a regular basis, but you have this kind of, oh, I'm gonna get you for a fellow content creator that you just can't go back and forth. And because just last week or just a month or two ago, y'all were talking about doing a show together and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm like, it's just like, who has Tourette's here? And then my other problem with this whole situation is Ness. What the fuck? You already know what you're dealing with some of these people, and you continue to like go back and forth till they really show you themselves, and then you get upset that they've operating in the space that you know them to operate in. You got to take this one. You already know the type of people you're dealing with. Know them. Like it's been said. The late Maya Angelou Ben said it. When people show you who they are, believe them the first fucking time. You don't got to wait 3 or 4 times or give them a second chance or go around. Oh, things have changed. I've never known a leopard to change their spots yet, or a tiger to change their stripes. I don't know one. I don't know one. Maybe y'all do, but I don't know one. So I just think it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then for my last point in all of this, you know that it's somebody's livelihood, right? You know that she uses this, she depends on this, to support her extra income or for whatever. You may not. You constantly talk about your deals and your writing skills and your stuff with BET that probably been on syndication since College Hill. I mean, I don't know, but like karma is that bitch, and it will come back on you too. So you gloat in this now, but no, your time is coming. And when your turn comes, don't go crying. Just remember what you've done. Because you've done some stuff. You've done some stuff. And to gloat on something like this, I think this was like a low blow. Like, granted, I get it. People, oh, it's the beef sector. There should be no agendas, no whatever. People talk, you respond, you don't respond. That's your choice. But going after people's things and their channels and all that kind of stuff, it's like, when did that become something that is done? Somebody says something about you, you go to your channel and you talk about it, and you either drag them back or you shut the fuck up. You shutting down their channel does what? And especially when they can go back to somebody else's channel and still talk. So it's like, what exactly have you shut down? Oh, you stopped their monetization. All right, cool. But the last time somebody stopped your channel and you couldn't make no money, you had to start over. You cried and begged for people to come over to support your channel till you got monetized again. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And trust, it's coming. Don't know when, but it's going to come. And when it comes, everybody's going to look at you and go, well, you invited that. You opened that door. So it is what it is. Now, with this whole, there's a clip, in the clip I showed of Mcronone or whatever, Uppity was dragging, whatever that lady's name is, judge something, jury, whatever lady from one of the other sectors who was on the Maury show and didn't know the birth father twice of one of her kids, which she said was a whole stage gimmick and act, right? And I say, okay, and if it was, your self-respect is that low that you would do something like that, staged or not, promoting yourself to be a promiscuous type of person, that you sleep with any and everybody, that you don't know the birth father of your kids. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that's something to hang your hat on. That's a Black History moment for your ass. Not once, Felicia, but twice. So much so that the title of the second Maury episode was By Felicia. Because the stage name was Felicia, and this was her second time bringing somebody up that could possibly be the father of the kid. And then the whole storyline of the mother of the possible father been supporting her the whole time with the baby, and come to find out he's not even the baby daddy either. So then she goes running back, and that was a funny line that you said, Uppity, by the way, when they were on Kimmy's live, and then she dropped back. When Uppity came up, she went backstage. Uppity said she's used to going backstage, like she ran backstage in the Maury episodes when they told her he wasn't the father. I said, oh, that's funny shit. But yeah, like, and I heard them going back and forth, and she's like talking, and I'm like, girl, but you can't talk about Ness being a parent or not being a parent when you clearly came out of your mouth and said one of your kids are with you. I'm sorry, what? One of your kids is with you? That means you have more than one, but only one is with you. Right, noted. Compared to one person having one kid and deciding, okay, this may not be enough, it may be too much for me. Can some, I can't do this. Can somebody else do this? And somebody else steps in and do it. Yeah, okay, cool. I get that. But you have one. out of many that you don't take care of, just one that's with you. Where's the flex in that? Like, I just didn't understand. It was like, what are you talking about? You just as bad. Like, if you're trying to make it look like she's bad, you're just as bad, if not worse. So it was totally all up in the air and confusion to me. I was totally like, what are we talking about? Where are we going with this? And then it was, oh, I don't want to talk about kids. I don't want to talk about kids. Why can't we just leave it on us? Yeah, but every time you talk about leaving it on us, you constantly bring up her kid or her parenting skills and stuff. It's just like, what are y'all talking about? Like, what is this? What is this about? Where are we going? Where are we going? It was just going in circles for no fucking reason. I felt totally like the fuck losing it. Anyway, from listening to that, Kimmy, I don't know what was going on. I know it's summertime and it's hot. I know you married and y'all probably doing the marriage thing, but that wig girl looked a little, it was unlike I'm used to you seeing. So I was a bit taken back, like, whoa, Kimmy girl, what's going on? Was you working out and sweating, girl? Because usually, it'd be all curled up and done and did. And I was like, Kimmy girl, what's going on? But good show nonetheless. There was a lot going on. Past that, what else we got? King Roman was live this morning, or this afternoon ish. I listened to a lot of it. Some of it I was working and listening. I agree with some of it. I don't quite agree with. For me, I feel like with the Lemon situation, or your kind of little digs at Lemon and Lemon's lack of response to you, is kind of like tapping back and forth for whatever reason. And it's like, are you trying to get him to respond? Because the weird thing for me in this whole thing is, if he chooses not to respond, or not to respond to you the way in which you want him to respond, how is that any different to the situation between you and Gorilla Mother? When people wanted you to respond this particular way, when he addressed you for saying that you thought Brian's attack on him or jokes on him were funny, that's all you said. You gave your opinion. So then what makes that any different? Like, if he chooses not to engage with you, let him just let it go. Just like you walked away and let it go and you said you weren't going to argue. Maybe he doesn't want to argue with you. Maybe he doesn't want to go back and forth with you. I would say just leave it. Because it almost looks like you're pressuring him to address you. And it's like, I don't think he don't want to. He may not even want to go there with you. And just leave it. But what do I know? I'm just watching like everybody else. But I just think he just don't want to. I don't think he want to go there with you. I think initially he may have said what he said, but I just think the constant kind of poking and prodding is not looking. It's not looking good if the person ain't responding. It just looked like you picking, instead of just like, all right, cool, just let it be. Just let it be. Other than that, that's all I've like really paid attention to. I don't really know a lot of the other stuff, neither do I care. To me, it just sounds like a whole bunch of hollering and screaming and going back and forth, and just makes no sense. So, but that's all I caught while I was, busy working and living life and listening and trying to make sense of all that was going on. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on that. Hey, Patty Duke. Hey, everybody. Welcome. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I thoroughly enjoyed my holiday, even though it wasn't a holiday for me because I still had to work, new position, new things. So I had to work. But I enjoyed listening to things. I listened and agreed to disagree with some stuff and agreed with some stuff. But I think a lot of people take this way too seriously. A lot of people live this thing as their real life. And it's like, you do know when you mess with people in their real life with their real money, things can change differently for you. And so you wonder why. It's like the prime example of you telling someone on site and then you meet them in person and you're on site. You didn't necessarily mean on site. You were just talking shit. But the person on the other end meant on site and they knew what on site meant. And so when they saw you on site, they dealt with you on site, and you then, you wasn't prepared. So I think, that should have been a lesson. Like, don't do that. If you're not ready for what could possibly come down the pike for you, maybe not. Maybe just chill. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just keep it on I don't like you, you don't like me. We may drag each other back and forth, but not to the extent where because you obviously not built for that life. You may be built for a lot of things, but that life you ain't built for. So I don't know. But again, that's just my observations, as messy as they may be. That's just it. That's it. That's all. That's all I got. Yeah. And no harm, no foul to nobody. I just feel like, what are we doing? Like, what? Like, it's just a lot of craziness for no reason. What happened to the parts where it was fun to go back and forth and drag somebody because you was waiting for the other person to respond, and then the other person responded, and then after a while, okay, it got tired and you went on to something else. But never to the point where, because somebody said something to you didn't like, you're chastising them because somebody's giving their opinion and thinking somebody else is funny. You're calling them to the carpet to address them. Why did they think or say out loud that somebody dragged somebody else that happens to be a quote unquote old OG? I mean, I don't even know what the fuck that is. But it's like, it's somebody's opinion. Get over it. We all have them. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not, whether that person is starting to be popular and people starts to listen to that person's opinion or not, and it makes you feel away. So the fuck what? Get over it. So what? The person has call-ins, and because you're the topic of the week, you have been dragged up and down through the streets, that so much so your feelings get hurt. So when your feelings get hurt, you then reach out to the person to tell the person, whoa, I think you need to cool out on them call-ins for a while till they stop talking about me, because I'm gonna start getting to my feelings. And what happened? I thought we was Teflon Don. I thought we was, I can get gutter, I can get dark. What happened? Well, the problem is a lot of these motherfuckers is sensitive as shit. That's the problem. They talk tough Tony, but they're definitely sensitive as shit. Okay? And they can't take it. So maybe you need to step out from here. You need to go someplace else where you can take it. I know that's something a lot of you don't hear a lot, because a lot of you don't engage in anything outside of this. But a lot of you can't take it. So it's like, find somewhere else to go. Because if you can't take somebody talking about you and criticizing you or giving their opinion about something that you was involved in, that's a problem. Get your life. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. And some of you too old to be in your feelings the way you are. Really, like way too old. But that's not even a joke. That's like borderline sad that you guys are as old as you are and you get in your feelings when people say shit about you, but y'all do the same shit. And everybody just turns a blind eye like, oh, no, this person is, You only address them when they pick on you. Who does? What are we talking about? This man will say anything anytime he feels like it. But no, nobody can't do the same. He'll whip out a cleanup for no reason. But oh well, yeah, I guess it was a reason. It was justified. No, it don't always have to be justified. But that's his right. But it's also the other person's right to then address him whenever the fuck they want to feel like it. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, get the fuck out your feelings. If you're too much in your feelings, you're in the wrong place. One, you need to go talk to a therapist. That's first and foremost. Because a lot of y'all motherfuckers need to sit on a motherfucking couch and stay there for a while. Well, first, make sure you wash your ass. But get on the couch and stay there for a while. Because a lot of y'all got some deep-rooted single child syndrome shit that y'all have not dealt with, and y'all think that everybody owe you something, or that you are beholden to everybody, and the little bit that you do for somebody, they owe you. Like, I don't know what kind of failed social experiment things that y'all grew up with, but y'all motherfuckers need help, and bad. I don't know. Maybe it's growing up with a sibling, a twin, and an older brother that I've learned the difference of just getting along and just ignoring motherfuckers when I feel like it. But some of y'all motherfuckers have a serious problem. I don't know if y'all didn't have no cousins growing up y'all age, is that y'all could kind of grow up like siblings, but some of y'all motherfuckers got problems for real. And you're too old to not be addressing your problems. So just might want to do that. Wellness is important. Health is wealth. I'm just saying, don't just worry about fixing your body. You got to fix what's upstairs too. Because your body could be looking right, but your mental could be fucked up, and that's not a good combination either. So fix it. All right, fix it. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I got. I think I'm done. Any new movies?
That was a good therapy session.
Any new movies? No, I don't think so. I haven't watched anything new. No, I started back watching The Handmaid's Tale, but it's too much like real life. So
I was going to say you get the refresher.
I really watched that in pieces. No, I started watching the new season. I kind of already caught up. I thought I was behind, but then when I watched the last season and a little bit of the recap, I was like, okay, I know where I'm at in the series. So I just started watching the new episodes, and it's kind of giving remnants of like what's going on now. So I was kind of like, it's too much right now, too much. But other than that, no, not really watching anything. Just focus, work, life, travel. Birthday is coming up. Shout out to I know there's some Geminis and whoop-de-doo, Gemini season, and all that good stuff. But yeah, Cancer season is approaching, so yeah, I am geared up. I'm getting a little excited.
When is it not Cancer season?
It is always Cancer season. Okay, when you're dealing with the Cancer, it is always Cancer season. But the other signs, blah blah blah. But yeah, just gearing up for that. This will be a good one. So be on the lookout. I can't wait for this year. This will be a different one. One for the record books, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yes, it will.
Yes, 44, good number. So yeah, but that's all I got. That is really all I got, folks. Again, thank you all for hanging out. I can drop the link for a second because I do have. It's early. Wow, look at this. Early.
That's because we were on time. We were on time.
Early birds. For a couple minutes, I'll drop the link if anybody wants to click it. That's fine. You know the rules. Don't get crazy or you will get got. And go with God, Crispy.
We do have snipers.
Yeah,
we always come prepared.
Right, even the ones you don't see. Okay. Yeah. So that's that.
You
Okay, see, I haven't
Queen
watched
Charlotte.
that. Oh, Queen Charlotte. I thought you were talking about the Yeah, I've seen that. I thought you were talking about Bridgerton. The new
Bridgerton.
episode. Yeah, I was thinking about
Did
that.
it backwards.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I need to find something to watch because I can't.
I don't know.
I
All the
can't.
shows are just so.
Yeah, and then I heard they canceled Wheel of Time.
Wheel of
Was it?
Time. Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a couple
I
of
was
other ones. Yeah.
so like, what the freak? That is my show. I hope somebody else picks it up. I hope like a Netflix or something picks it up. But I was so bummed. Okay, that is my show.
They watching the Unseen.
Unseen?
I haven't seen that.
No, I haven't seen that. What was I watching? Wait, is that's not the show with the blind guy? Like everybody's blind. Is that it? Or is that what was that? It's like the dude that played Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, something like that. And everybody's blind. I was like, is that this? Because I seen something like that. I'm not sure if that was Unseen on Apple TV. I've seen a few episodes of that. That was pretty good. But I don't know. Like I don't know. I've started back watching The Shy because that's one of my favorite shows. But I don't know where this season is going. I'm a bit like,
I just want to know if P Valley's coming back. Shit.
you know.
Hit it. All of them, they be old as hell. They stretch marks and everything. Now I ain't been used to me watching it.
The you didn't watch it for the old lady. You don't want to see the old ladies on the pole.
It was just so acrobatic. I was like, oh, okay. I said strip club that I've been to, and they never do that shit.
They never jump.
Be looking up like it. No, they ain't do all that. They could barely walk up on stage.
I never forget that time I went to my brother's thing, bachelor party thing. I was like, what is this lady doing in here? Grandma, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere, go get
Baby
your
grandma gotta work. Medicaid's almost gone.
Medicaid is dried up, bitch. Get on that pole. You gonna see a lot of grandmas.
It's gonna be a lot of them out there. Cause y'all know we gotta work now. We got a work requirement.
In order to get my check.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Make sure you make my stuff. I need my stuff.
Right. Be sitting up there talking about wiping the pole down with some baby oil. They be wiping the pole down with Bengay.
I know. All that mental Luthen. Everybody's eyes be bright. Everybody's eyes be all bright. Don't rub your eyes, baby.
But it helps them. It helps them as they're doing their tricks on the pole. They don't sprain nothing. You put some Bengay on there, so we get to the muscles. Swing it around, swing it around the pole. Oh, look, we have a guest. Yep. Where you at? Where'd you go? I see you, but I don't see you. It's not saying you up there. Oh, there you go. Hello, hello, hello. Asian princess.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now.
Hey.
Yes,
Hi there, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
we're good.
Fine.
How are you?
It's good to see you two handsome men on the panel tonight. I look forward to my Tuesdays.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And we look forward to you being here.
Yes, definitely.
So, I'm curious. Y'all not talking about Diddy?
I am not talking about Diddy.
We got 8. We got what? 10. We got 10 weeks.
Right. You got 10 weeks to talk about Diddy. I mean, at this point, for real, I'm not. The reason why I don't even talk about it because one, I'm not surprised. Like none of this stuff is like surprising to me. Like, yeah, it may be a bit like I can't believe we did that, but it's like I'm not surprised. You look at the caliber and the character of the person and the things that he's done, not just privately, but like the things he's done to artists over the years, and the the secrecy behind the murder of Biggie, but then all of the money he's made since Biggie's passing with all of his stuff. It's like you would expect somebody like that to have a side of him that is even darker than what you know. So I'm not.
Yo, I'm so nosy. I
Mm-hmm.
am so nosy. When I hear some of the details that come out of court every day, child,
Mm.
And shout out
I'm,
to Armand Wiggins for his animation and all of
ooh,
this stuff. Because
I be hollering.
Mm.
Yeah, Armand
more
is
oil,
fire.
more oil. I'm like, what
Oh,
the hell?
oh, I'm
So
hollering
dumb.
every day of court is something different when you
Yeah.
listen to the details. Like today, they were talking about, I think his name was Q from day 26. Was that like
Yeah.
the group, one
Mhm.
of the groups?
Yes.
Yes. And he said that he got the red pill
Mm-hmm.
from
Oh
his
yeah.
girlfriend. Yes. And he
Mm-hmm.
woke up and they was all taking pictures of, he was in the bed of the twin
Mm.
girls. I said, well, what?
Wow.
That's some freaky stuff going on.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it's
Yeah.
also used for leverage though. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like you would think he can't do anything, he can't say anything because these pictures alone, whether something happened or didn't happen, even if they gave him a pill and placed him in the bed, he can't prove that. It's just the pictures, public
Right.
opinion against him.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of that was going on with all of these parties he was having. There's a reason why there was always a camera. People were always being videoed or pictures were always being taken. So if anybody
Hmm.
ever decided, you know what, this is a little too freaky for me, I'm gonna tell it all. That it's always gonna be like, yeah, you go ahead and do it because I'm gonna drop this video going to drop, these pictures about to drop, and all of your stuff is about to go away. So it was like insurance on these people.
And it was like a Chappelle concert. You had to give your phone up. Woo.
Yeah, but I mean, but really, yes, because then that way he's the only. That's the leverage. He's the one with the leverage. So if he's the only one videotaping and only one allowed to videotape all this, you can't have your phone and stuff. So when you are doing questionable stuff, when you are in the corner kissing a man and you supposed to be straight, when you are in the corner eating some coochie and you supposed to be a straight woman, when you are engaging in all these things because you thinking everybody in here, we all get down, it's all free for all.
Yeah,
He's
they
the
all
one with
got
the
down.
leverage. Right. He's the one with the
Mm,
leverage. So if he felt like you overstepped him, he was gonna expose you. And once he exposed you, that's it. All your stuff goes away. So
Right.
why would you ain't gonna say nothing. You're gonna be quiet. You're gonna be the church mouse until all
right.
that comes off. All that comes off. Look at Epstein. Once Epstein was arrested, they immediately X'd him on out of here. Why? Because they knew what he was going to do. Oh, y'all taking me down for this? Oh, I ain't going to be the only one coming. Everybody who participated, everybody who came to my island, everybody who asked me for a special order or for,
Right.
for a special sauce or mac sauce or a BLT or whatever the fuck it was called. Whomever asked him for any kind of favors in that manner, he was going to expose. So they got rid of him. So at
And
this
Yeah,
it's
point,
in the
mhm.
words of Brother Love, it's best to be safe than sorry.
That's crazy.
and it's so crazy. I'm here in Ohio. And in Ohio, we have
The Buckeye.
the king, yeah, the Buckeye State. The
Mhm,
king of Ohio is Lex Wexner. And he literally developed an entire town. Like, let's just say, I don't know where you live, Nate, but like Cap, let's just say where you live, let's just say Prince George's County, the whole entire county
mhm.
was built by one person with all
Okay,
of
Okay.
his billions of dollars.
right.
So that's what this guy Lex Wexner did out here in
Okay,
Ohio. He
like
literally
the
built
DuPont family.
Hmm.
yes, like he
Mhm,
literally has an entire county
mhm.
that is all built by him. And
Right.
everyone has to have the same fences that he wants. and your houses have to look like his house, and
Mm,
even though you don't have his money, but
okay.
still, you know what I mean. But
Right.
but
A
his
HOA horror story. That's what that
Right.
is.
okay,
That's what it sounds like.
okay. And in his area, his house, if you look it up on the Google map, he
Mhm.
has an entire helipad,
I'm
like a
sure.
landing strip,
I'm sure.
everything. So everything for him is private, private, private. And to
Mm,
find out that Jeffrey Epstein was the person who was managing all his money, and
hmm,
Lex Wexner made him the billion. And Lex Wexner, let's not forget, this is who started Victoria's Secret,
hmm.
Mhm.
right? So this is serious money.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to see
And
how
panties.
oh, oh, hmm, okay. And to see how when all of this stuff, and half of Ohio, most of the medical centers is all
Hmm.
Wexner Center. What, that's all him. That's
Mhm.
all Jeffrey Epstein, all over it.
Right. Right.
And to see how when all of this stuff started going down,
Hmm.
he stepped down from the Ohio State Board of Directors. He
Of course.
stepped down from Victoria's Secret. He
Of
stepped
course.
down from everything. And
Of
then
course.
all of a sudden, he just went away.
Hmm.
He just vanished.
Yep.
Yeah,
And now
start
he's
being
just
real
living
quiet.
his life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's quiet. He stepped down from everything. He's living his life, but there's no charges against him, even
No.
though he pretty much what they're doing to Diddy. I mean, I'm not saying that what I'm not condoning anything
Right.
that Diddy has done. I'm
Right.
not. I'm
Right.
not. But it's interesting that juxtaposed to Lex Wexner, who is an accessory, the way they're trying to take down Diddy
Hmm.
and his entire foundation, is
Right.
interesting how they let Lex Wexner fade away into the sunset. But then they're
Right.
trying to pick on, even the littlest person like D Rock and all these
Right.
other people,
Right.
um, Gene and all these other people. They're trying to just demolish
Hmm.
everybody in Diddy's atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah. On
But
purpose.
yet, yeah, but yet Lex Wexner, they just let him disappear, and all of
Mhm.
his accessories, they just let them all go away.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Just like the Hollywood dude. What's the one that could barely walk when he was in court and shit?
Weinstein,
Weinstein.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything? He was able to leave court. He was able to leave jail due to his
right?
medical condition. You don't hear nothing from him. Ain't nobody knocking down no doors. Ain't nobody checking to see if he ain't still rubbing on young girls or young boys or doing anything else. Nobody's checking. But see, that's the thing. That once they get a particular person in their sights for whatever reason, what I would like to know is what caused it. Like he's
Right.
been doing this the whole time. What caused it? What did he do or what did he not do to cause y'all
Who'd
to
he
say,
make
you know
mad?
what? Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, who'd you make mad to the point where it caused you to say, you know what? Cool, let's get him. Let's pull the trigger. Because for
Ah,
all
that's
these years,
interesting.
you let this go. This is almost like the Cosby situation, like the R. Kelly. For so many years, the people who really had the power to shut it down let it go. Why?
And by
The
the way,
question.
I don't mean to be rude.
Mhm.
Hello, chat. Hello,
Yeah,
everyone. Please feel free to hit the link also. My bad. I'm
right.
sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, my question is, why? Why now? What was it?
Yeah, because
Was
they
it a
were
deal?
open secrets. They were
Right.
open secrets.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what
Right.
was going on. You know.
Right.
Everybody participated in that shit. You mean to tell me I been not to believe that old ass Hugh Hefner wasn't popping Spanish Fly in them young girls' drinks and doing what
Of
he was doing
course.
for
Hmm.
years.
That's sex trafficking right there.
Right,
Right.
exactly. That whole mansion itself was anonymous for that. But we sit there to, oh, it's the Playboy Mansion. La, 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 like it's this great place. Like it was
Hmm.
freakos happening there. Where you think these people
Hello.
learned it from?
Hello. And
So
by the
I
way,
mean,
that's right down the street from Diddy's house in
huh,
Homely Hills.
huh, huh, hello.
Right down the street.
I hate to
So
see
I
the price
mean,
of those houses.
yeah, right. So I mean,
They
it's
got
like
secret
granted,
doors and everything.
I don't condone a lot of it, but the truth of the matter is, where did it start? It started
Right.
somewhere, and who
Right.
allowed it to progress to this point? And then why, if that's the case, if it was such a vile thing, and why immediately the first thing you go for is finding out where his tapes and stuff are?
Right.
Instantly, that's proof that it's somebody higher up who didn't want their stuff to be exposed. So get the evidence first
Correct.
and then go get him. Because
Yeah,
then
tying
now
up
he has
loose
no
Correct.
ends.
leverage.
Tying up
Right.
loose ends.
Because then he has no leverage to go, okay, you want to do this to me? Now, see, a smart person would be like, okay, I'll have these here and the copies of it. So if they do this to me, pull them copies. But who knows? He might
They
have
in the
just thought he was
cloud.
good enough. Right. He might have just thought he was good enough to where he could just keep it in this one space and they wouldn't come for it. But that's immediately what they came for. So it's like, why?
I've always thought that was weird that
Mhm.
Homeland Security
Right. Right.
raided
Not,
his house and
this is what I'm
nobody
saying.
else's.
We're not talking about the state marshals. We're not talking about state officers. We're talking about fucking Homeland Security, fucking
Yeah.
government coming
Mm-hmm.
for you. Why? What for? What did you do, or what did you decline to do? That therefore, when you said no, they said, "All right,
We're gonna show you.
th-
Right.
we're gonna show you this way, that you this way, not this way." Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's always that. Even like I said before, like with the Cosby and with the R. Kelly, it's something to it. Yes, they may have done some gross things, but they've been doing them gross things for years. Y'all fucking
Right.
watch a whole video with him and that little underage girl, him with his face in
Yes.
it, and he continued to make music and videos and people. I
Hmm.
believe I could fly, mama braid my hair, all that, and he
Correct.
all had all that out. Then all of a sudden now
Yeah,
it's a
while he's
bridge too
pissing on
far.
some 13-year-old girl.
Right. And then 20 years after that, it's a bridge too far. What are we
Right.
talking about?
Right. Right. Why is it all of a sudden a bridge too far?
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
Now all of a sudden it's a bridge too far. This stuff has been happening. He's been doing this. Like the one artist back in the day, he talks about like the Biggie video, that was a transsexual woman in the Biggie video. You're like, all these women out here, why is there a transsexual in the video? Why has nobody ever talked about the transsexual woman in the video? I'm like,
Correct.
I never even noticed it was a transsexual in the video. Not that I care. I wasn't paying attention to it like that. But it's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, if it was a transsexual in the video, why? And then nobody said nothing about it. As much as they talk about, as much as
No.
Yeah, but how many
homophobic
years
shit
ago
they
was
talk
that?
about it, right?
Yeah, but
In
how
the
many years ago
90s.
was that?
In
And
the
nobody and
90s.
nobody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
unless you were
So,
looking for them, you wouldn't
right,
find them.
right. So I mean, it's very just like, wow, it makes you like really look at things differently and really, like, granted, yeah, he could be a horrible person. I don't doubt that. He definitely beat up on that woman. I don't doubt that. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing and none of that, but he been doing it. So
Mm.
what happened now all of a sudden to where in which now it's time to get him exposed? He done
But
did
then
a
too,
whole 50-year appreciation thing and talked about it. I treated you real bad. I was in a real dark time. Blah, 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 blah. But you stood by me and I appreciate you and I love you. And then your new life and your new husband and blah, 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 blah. But thank you so much. And all that whole speech he gave
Yep.
hmm
to her during his, award thing. And it's like, what's up? You know something, because it was very weird. Like, that's like, I saying an appreciation thing to Tina. I whipped your ass, I beat your ass a lot of times. Anime, I made you
But
eat
I
cake,
loved you,
but I
boo.
loved you. But I loved you, girl, and you've been out here shaking your tail feather and all that shit, and but I still love you. You're doing the damn thing. Like, it don't make sense. But what happened? That's what I want to know. That's what
but you know what
burns
it
me.
is too? Some of these things, as time changes, are now weapons that
Mm,
used to be acceptable
right.
Mm.
Yeah.
because you just always assume, well, those are boys. Boys going to be
Yeah.
boys, and they're going to
Right.
do what they're going to
Right.
do.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like
So,
years ago,
but now the time has changed.
watching the
Yeah, like I said.
BET videos and the chip drills,
Hmm.
those were Me Too's waiting to happen. Those were Me Too's waiting to happen, and me just sitting there at 3 o'clock in the morning, like ooh, ooh,
Hmm.
and I think, and you're not in the mind space of they are sexually assaulting these women here. You know what I'm saying? Like because
Hmm.
you're not in that space, but you get to a point where you start looking at things differently and going, wow, well,
Yeah.
yeah, but that that the Freakniks videos and things that used
Oh
to
no,
go.
not
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Freaknik. Oh my
Yes.
God!
uh,
Now
Yes.
you taking it
uh,
back. Now you taking it back.
Yes.
Not Freaknik.
Let me sit up on
yes,
that one. Yes.
That's
right.
my age group. That's my age group. Freaknik.
Mm,
Ooh.
I was so before their last one. I was a junior in high school, actually on a college
I
tour.
was gonna say, and I
And
know
we just
you're younger than me,
yeah.
Cap. I'm older than you, so I remember I attended Freakniks in
Mhm.
Atlanta and then Jones Beach,
they didn't
Right,
New
get you on
right.
York.
My
film,
brother
did
did
they?
too.
Uh-oh. We got to
But
comb
Black
through
all
those
day.
archives.
all,
Exactly. Like
all
Black all
that
day
stuff
films.
was
You used to look at
acceptable
them.
then. It was
Mhm.
acceptable
Yes.
then, you
Totally
know.
different. Totally
Right.
different.
But then that's the thing. Who flamed that culture? Like I believe, like, as much as nobody talks about it, let's start looking at what's his name? The Arista dude. Clive Davis. Start really
Oh,
looking at Clive Davis. All these old motherfuckers that you like, oh, just let him go, let him, he's about to die. Quincy Jones, when he started talking about, yeah, we were fucking boys, talking about, I even touched Tevin Campbell. What the fuck?
Hmm.
yeah, he seemed to have been around for a lot of stuff.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
he got real
right.
He
simple
was
with
in
the
the
I know
dementia
room.
kicking in.
exactly,
Hmm.
but and here you going after stiff ass Smokey,
Oh yeah,
Smokey
yeah,
Robinson,
Smokey
stiff ass.
Poor
Robinson.
Smokey.
That's
Poor
that's
Smokey.
just nasty all the way around. Like I said,
Poor
because his stiff
Smokey.
ass.
And it's like, you're not. I mean, and granted, he may have. Cool, I get it. He may have, but it's like, come. How do you let something go so long and then go? Okay, but now we're gonna come and get you. We don't let you do this for uh God knows how many years. They grew up in a culture where this happened. You're talking about uh the dude, the Michigan dude. What's his name?
The Michigan dude?
Um, the dude from the Motown person. So we're
Oh,
talking about. I
oh,
can't
I know who you're talking
I
about.
can't think of
Okay.
nobody's name right now. Um,
The guy who
but
started Motown.
yeah, right. We coming from an
Oh
era where they did chitlin circuits and women and men
yeah,
and all types of things was constantly in and out of doors. We were dealing
Barry
with
Gordy.
Barry Gordy, yeah.
Barry
I
Gordy,
couldn't think
yeah.
of his name. And then we're also dealing with a situation where, and even in the civil rights movement, the church was a hot box too. You had uh
What you
Pastor
was
Franklin. No,
still
still is
smoking
shit. Pastor
while they
Franklin had
swallowing
freak nicks in his house
No,
after church.
no,
after Sunday prayer.
After shit.
no,
The whole
no.
house was a brothel.
Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like the Freaknik Central. So I mean, it's like you gotta read the book, child. He had it
God.
going.
Look, I
Uh,
passed the plate. That was enough.
yeah,
That was enough.
pass the
Better
plate
you
gave a
didn't
whole
know.
new meaning, child. Whole new meaning to pass the plate. But yeah, I mean, so a
Ooh.
lot of this stuff was going on. Like a lot of this stuff was just really going on. Like
Yeah.
all these people were
So
doing all these types of
that's my
things.
point. To bring it back full circle, why now is it that we have so few Black people who are successful and who are doing the damn thing, and who are dominating industries. And it feels like, and that's what makes me upset. It feels like, I don't know who, some kind of higher being just wants to knock everybody down. Am I crazy for thinking like that?
Well, it ain't everybody. It's just a particular group of people because you
Well, you know
don't
what I
Yeah,
hear.
mean?
they're going after everybody.
Yeah, because you don't
Nobody's
hear
exempt.
right.
It's
You
just that
don't
we
hear
don't
that
have
other
any
group.
more black men and women. I mean, they even tried, Trump even tried a couple weeks ago to try to hit Oprah and try to
Yeah, he did.
he did, right?
Beyonce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
Yes.
Beyonce. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
He
Yep.
was
because
trying to
I,
throw shots at them. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no,
But
you're not trying to throw
yeah,
shots at Oprah and
yeah. When you get past a
Beyonce.
certain decimal point,
right.
everybody's moving. You move in different circles, so you're privy
Right.
to different information. And some
Right.
people stay away from it, and some people fall into it.
Amazing, but,
Now, their attack is pretty much a general attack on
Right.
all people of color, period. And
Right.
it doesn't matter what your income tax bracket is. And they're going to put out whatever little secrets, because everybody knows your secrets when you
Right.
make that type of money, because
Right.
they want to
But they're
know
all doing the same
how
shit.
much. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
or they might have they might have even turned you onto the person that helped them do that shit,
Right.
Yeah.
because those circles are so close. They don't want to tell anybody, and it's like, well, we think you're safe, and and
Right.
and they allow, you they let you in, they open the door, they let you see behind the wizard's curtain,
Mm.
you know.
For a little
But it
bit.
is, yeah. I mean, look, all these celebrities had to pay some sort of dues,
Mm.
and they all have different tastes. I mean, everybody's human. They're going to do what they're going to do. Look, Eddie Murphy was with a trans woman.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Teddy Pendergrass when he had
Teddy
his
Pendergrass.
accident? He was
Right.
with a trans
Cut
woman,
'em
and
off!
that. Hmm. And then some. Then some of these women, you would never know because they passed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but everybody has a secret, no matter what that secret
Yeah.
is.
Not everybody look like Dimples.
Mhm. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, Patty, we gonna
well.
talk. We talked about your Smokey. Yeah, Smokey Robinson too. I was like, when I heard that one, I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, stiff hip Smokey. I said, oh, damn, they going for
I mean,
everybody.
leave that poor man alone. He's like 80 years old. Y'all trying to
Yeah.
come on.
Like, I mean,
yeah, but he keep getting on illegal aliens
yeah,
to work
but
for
that's
him
true.
at
That's
his
true.
house. Yeah,
Come on.
they probably, you know what? That probably came out because maybe somebody that we used to work with him was
Mm-hmm.
being deported.
Reported. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that
You
And
too.
then
know, people,
suddenly he's
you,
the bad
yeah,
guy.
and you
Hey,
always
listen,
need.
if you keep my
Can you
family
help?
here, I'm gonna tell
Uh-huh.
you
That's right.
business.
If you
Yeah,
can help
I'm gonna tell
me,
you business.
that's right. Can you help
Fill
me?
out
If you
that
can't help me,
I-9
I'm gonna tell
form.
you.
Fill out that I-9
Yeah.
form for
Yeah,
me.
I know you know somebody. Can you fast track me?
right. Yeah,
That
exactly.
type of thing. You get desperate. I have lived in that country
Wow.
for 40 years. I don't know anybody. Everybody I know there is gone.
Right.
What am
Right.
I going to do
I
there?
go
I don't
back
even
there,
speak
I'm
the
gonna
language.
die. They gonna kill me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Come life or death. People are
Yeah.
desperate. They're going
Yeah.
to do what they're going to have to do, and they're going to throw whom and whoever
Whomever.
under the bus.
Right. Who
I
knows? She
bet
could
you.
I'm
have.
not even gonna lie. You
I
know
bet
my
you
name
Arnold
is Haitian.
Schwarzenegger.
No,
Hmm.
go ahead.
Oh, I bet you Arnold Schwarzenegger got a phone call.
No. You already
Yo.
know it. You already know it.
And then fast forward, his son is graduating from Pepperdine.
Right. Right.
Suddenly.
But how about the whole? But how about the son been there the whole time? And the whole time they going on family trips and everything. He done kept that
Uh-huh.
thing silent for years.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Just crazy. That's because that money was
I
flowing.
see that.
Okay. She was getting all that Terminator money. Okay.
I'll
And
be
that
back again.
by the way, that maid
I'll be
was
back
not
again.
affording to send her son to Pepperdine.
Huh?
By the way, she was not making money to afford
Oh,
for her
of course
son to
not.
go to
Oh,
Pepperdine.
Of course not.
that's why he
Absolutely
kept
not.
saying, "I'll be back."
Right. While he
Okay.
was making up all the movies, you're like, damn, I'm talking got another movie out, another movie. So he was paying, okay? He had to pay.
Okay,
Right.
he's paying $80,000 a year to go to Pepperdine, and
Oof.
no one knew a word.
Mm-mm.
But that again, that's why I just get so annoyed by these stories because again, I'm not saying it's okay. Diddy
Mhm.
is an ass, okay? Let's
Right,
say that. He is
right,
a jerk and he
right.
is a
A
freak and
narcissist.
he's a
Yeah.
narcissist and we
Yeah.
know all of
You had
that.
to factor in his personality. Had a
But
lot to do with that too.
Hmm.
You
does
think
he
you're above,
deserve
you become sloppy.
Yeah.
right, but does he deserve to go to jail for the rest of his life for
If he
that?
if he was doing those things, I mean, they have to prove it. You
I
know,
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't
As far as the trafficking, now you know you got him on the domestic abuse,
Right.
but that's not a lifetime thing.
But that's not right.
I
That's
But
not.
if
I
he
don't
was moved,
understand.
but
I
say
don't
like with those
understand.
parties, say like with those parties, if there were minors there,
Hmm. Yeah.
you know,
And
you
there were there's stuff on the
and you're
internet,
flying them,
there's stuff on
yeah,
YouTube showing there was
Yeah.
minors.
yeah. And see,
Right.
yeah, and at the time they thought the minors thought it was great,
Right.
you
Yeah. To
know.
be in the company of celebrities and all that type of stuff.
Right.
And
Celebrities.
I got
Boom.
flown out before it was, the thing to get flown out.
Right. But again, we're talking
Nate, it's
about
flued out.
now.
It's flued out, Nate. It's
Right.
flued.
Oh, I'm sorry. That,
But we're like we're talking about minors now, but remember Drew Barrymore was fucking not even 10 years old at
Hello.
Club 54, chilling
Hello.
with
yeah.
cokeheads. Like,
Hmm. Oh yeah, that
you know what I'm
place
saying?
was.
Like
He
a
talking
lot of
about.
these a lot of the
Sheesh.
kid stars at that time were around, grown people doing drugs and
Yeah.
all extra type of stuff. So it's like, for you to come down even on him doing this, imagine if you would, if you're gonna snatch people back, snatching some of these old motherfuckers back that was allowing all this shit going on, where would they
Hmm.
be? But it's
Hmm.
selective. It's very selective. So I don't,
Yeah, but like I was telling Cap earlier, I was like, yeah, they're going to be calling Farnsworth Bentley to the stand soon.
Oh, oh yeah, for
Where
sure.
is he at?
He hiding. That's what he doing. He hiding.
He is hiding.
Whatever happened, he dropped all that stuff.
Yeah.
He moved down south and he
Hmm.
got married and he
Yeah.
dropped totally out of sight.
Everything. Yeah.
I've seen videos. He has a beautiful black wife and he has like two or
Hmm.
three kids.
Yeah.
Hmm. And he
But
wants
they
to
say
keep it
he
that way.
but
Yeah.
they say he
Something.
was thieving. He was thieving. He was stealing allegedly. Allegedly.
Hmm.
But I
He
mean, you
was
think about it. If he was stealing, then why had you not brought him up on charges? Or was he taking what was owed to him? And
True.
because he probably had evidence that would, kind of blow whatever lid off, he decided to just let him go on about his business.
Yeah,
well,
we'll
that's
just make it
true.
even. We'll
That's
just make it
true.
even.
We'll just
Because
make it
every
even.
because
Right.
if we really want to go at Diddy, I really wouldn't be caring about going after him about partying and all this other kind of craziness. Let's go about him about how about everybody who's been around with him or close to him or either close enough to expose him ended up having a heart attack and dying. Can we dig them
Mm,
motherfuckers up
Hmm.
and
that's
find
true.
out were they taking, were they given something? What did he murder them in a sense? Like Kim, like Andre Harrell, like all these people that just up and died, heart attacks and shit.
Yeah.
We're like, how the fuck? Uh, fucking what you call it was almost out of here. Jamie Foxx was almost out of here. I'll be
Oh
sure.
yeah. Hmm.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
I'll be
Albie.
sure is
I tell
coming out with a book in
Yeah,
October.
yeah.
I can't wait
and
for
I tell
that.
you when
That was
Albie
my boo.
when you heard about him, oh my God,
Mhm.
and you saw him, I was like, what the hell is that? MS or something?
Right,
I mean, you wouldn't recognize him.
right.
He looked like he aged about 50 years.
Yeah,
That
for
was some
sure.
Yes,
powerful shit.
that was my
Yeah.
boo. And he was on Fox News New York and he
Hmm.
said he's coming out with a book in October and he said that his book is going to be a tell-all about everything that he feels like his organ failure was
Hmm.
as a result of Diddy.
Yeah.
allegedly.
I mean, even Jamie Foxx has said he was given something by his person who got it from Diddy, like the drink
That
or
was on
whatever.
his
And he drunk
special.
it, yeah.
Mhm.
And he drunk it, and that was it. Next thing you know, he wound up waking up in the hospital days later, like
Mhm.
months
Out
later.
of
Don't
a
drink.
coma.
Yeah.
Don't drink the
Mm-hmm.
Kool-Aid.
Don't oil drink you.
Mm.
Drink the Kool-Aid, drink you.
I'm glad you
Well,
spelled
some
flued out for me. I'm
Um,
laughing at
I,
all black. Now,
I really
see,
don't think
see, that's when the
Donald
age
will
thing comes in. That's when
pardon.
the age thing comes in. I don't think of it as they were flown out.
Yeah.
no, we gotta go with Carisha from the City Girls.
Not
You
the
got
city girl.
flued out.
Like,
Look, as long as I got to pay, I don't care what you call it. I went over.
I ain't
Yeah, I
paying
went.
for this shit.
And I got
But
a complimentary bottle of oil. Yep, sure
yeah.
did.
Yeah, that's the thing that Armand
That's it.
Wiggins is doing now. You just gotta say, okay, you guys, are you ready for the show? Are we oiled up? We
Right.
oiled up?
Yeah. Oil, get the oil. Like, slide
That's
some
what we
oil to
saying
you.
now. We're oiled
Yeah.
up. Are you oiled
Right.
up? You ready to go?
Not have them swimming in a pool of baby oil though. It's
Baby,
like it's so much
Baby,
that's
so
a
much
bad thing,
stupidity
baby,
skin.
wrong with that.
All clogged up. Oh my
Right.
God,
Not to mention
baby.
somebody
break you
actually
out.
getting that in their in their lungs and stuff. Like, are we serious? Stop.
No, but
Like
everybody else's fruit juices. That's oil.
that, mm,
You know.
mm, mm.
They
Now
say what he
listen,
couldn't pardon.
they said today when that lady, what's her name? Um, uh, it begins with a C. It's the zodiac sign. With a C. Um,
Capricorn.
Capricorn or
Capricorn.
something.
Her name was Capricorn. She had so much tea. She was the only person that testified today. Capricorn Clark.
Mm,
That's her name,
mm,
Mm.
Capricorn Clark. She
mm.
testified today. She said her main job, amongst other things, was to wipe down the hotel room from the handprints of the baby oil on the walls, child.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Oh,
Why
That
they
was
use a
her
hotel
job.
room?
that's gonna be a crazy bill.
No, how much was it? How much did she get paid? I guess how much she get paid?
Well, that was another thing that they talked about today because
Yes, Miss
she
Capricorn got a 401k for wiping wall.
I
they said
know.
they said Miss Capricorn had to go in and wipe down the walls, and
Crime scene.
she was literally working from 9 a.m. until
Mm,
4 a.m. every
yeah,
day.
you got to
So
get
she
that
went to the
oil
back.
out.
She went to the bad boy HR and she said, "Y'all owe me for overtime." And they
Yeah.
were like,
Yeah.
"Okay, let's help you calculate." So they calculated and they told her that they bad boy owes her $80,000 for every 3 months that she was working there. um and that was her overtime pay, and she brought it to Diddy. They gave her a printout and they said, based on what you're saying that you worked, here's your overtime pay. $80,000 for every 3 months. Okay, I don't know how many months. And
All
she
I know
brought
is
it
that
to
we doing
Diddy.
something wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
We
something
doing
that
something
I
ain't
wrong.
know.
right.
But
Right.
her base pay was only 65. Her
Ah,
base pay
that's
was
still
only
good
65.
for just doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
Hmm. For being his shadow, for being his shadow. But she was being his drug mule. She was setting up the freak off. She was doing everything. She was setting
Yeah.
up his
Oh hell, she.
luggage.
I mean,
Oh well,
she couldn't do
she
it.
was underpaid.
Yeah,
She was
She
very
was
underpaid.
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 She was
Yeah,
underpaid, 65,000.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's
she
why
was
she asked
underpaid.
for her, that's why she was asking for her overtime,
Mm,
Hmm.
$80,000 for every 3 months. And then she went and brought the printout to Diddy and said, okay, Diddy, here's what HR confirmed is what I should get in overtime.
mm.
Child, they said that he looked at the paper
And I said,
and
not
he
today.
looked up at it
He
and
said, not today.
he ripped it up in
Not
four
today.
and he said, not today, boo. He
Yeah.
said, not Thank you for bringing me this paper. And he
See,
dipped it
she
up in
did it
her
wrong.
face.
She
Right.
did it wrong. She should have pushed it as, um, I'm not just your shadow. I am your cleaner.
I'm your
Just
cleaner.
like you
Right.
dispose
Yeah.
of, just like you dispose of bodies, you
Yep.
have to go in there and to get rid of. You think
You
I just
take
go there and
pictures
wipe
and all
oil?
that shit. Right. I'm
I
taking
go on
pictures
for
of all
black
that
light
shit.
because I'm
Yep.
going after
Yep.
DNA. We
Yeah.
know that there's,
Mm.
use the expression,
There's
we know that
fruit juice. There's fruit juice
fruit juices everywhere.
Okay.
fruit juices
And I have to find
everywhere.
those, and I have to find those fruity juices
Yes, I gotta
with
follow my
my.
nose. I am
That's
Pecan. I
right,
am Toucan Sam. I
because
am
it only
following
takes
my
one
nose.
person. It takes one nosy
That's it.
paparazzi to come in there
That's
and do a
it.
DNA swab, and then come to find out it's 50, it's 15 or 20
Black
celebrities'
Wow.
lives,
DNA.
right.
She
Black
didn't sell
lives,
herself right.
right,
Where's she at now? I could tell her we can make some money because that's a
right.
job. That's a real
Just
job. But she,
messy.
oh yeah, I'm sure it was.
Oh, bloodbath, blood everywhere, blood,
Can
blood,
you
blood,
imagine?
blood.
What's one of my favorite stands? You turn on that, turn on one of those black lights. It look like a Picasso painting in here. It was
Right.
just stuff everywhere.
Splatter
The whole
everywhere.
room
Splatter.
closed.
Splatter everywhere.
Hmm.
That's just crazy.
That poor lady had
Too
to
much.
clean up those rooms
Mm.
Ugh.
by herself. And
Yeah, but
she
she retired now in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
well, they said she was boo-hooing on the stand today.
I'm sure. I'm
She
sure.
Mhm.
was
'Cause
boo-hooing.
I didn't get my last check
Right.
before y'all
They
grabbed them.
still ain't paid
Getting
me
all.
before you grab me. I still ain't get my
Uh
money.
oh. Miss Miss Carter, how we know about getting oil off the walls is hard work.
Can you imagine? That was
Work
her job, getting
and
the
work.
oil off the wall.
Whew. See, I would have known something
Work
was wrong anyway. The
and
hotel
work.
rooms aren't that clean like that.
Right, exactly. And you know that thing smelling like Ajax and all types of shit.
Mm.
She was
Awesome and
all sorts
everything.
of triggered.
You're like, ooh, goddamn.
Now and then too, is it by size of the room?
Yeah.
They would probably rent a suite
Sweet. Right. You got the
or to
whole
rent out the whole
presidential suite
floor.
or the
If
whole
you had to
floor.
rent out the
Yeah.
whole floor, see, she did not
Yeah.
promote herself right. We could
Nope.
make a goddamn killing
Nope. Not at all.
being the
She was
cleanup
the
crew. Sure
assistant
could.
doing his
I
VH1
put
Well,
on my
work.
hazmat suit,
Mm.
plastic
she
gloves.
was she was also boo-hooing and said that on her first day of work when she was
Hmm.
hired to work for Puff, she said that I guess they did a background check after the fact, go figure,
Oh,
that they
yeah.
found out that she worked for Suge Knight.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
And so he was like, okay, so that he hired her as a personal assistant, and he was like, all right, take a ride with me, right? As a personal assistant, you're just a
Hmm.
shadow of somebody. And she hopped
Yeah.
in the car with him. They took her to Central Park late
Mm.
at night in the dark. And Central Park, if you've ever been to New York City,
Right.
Central Park at night
At
is
dark?
scary as
Shit.
fuck.
Hmm.
Right. It
Oh,
is.
sorry.
No, you're fine. You're
It's
fine.
yeah, it's scary
It
because
is.
it's all bushes and just little nooks and
Yeah. And
homeless
people could
people
be
and
around the
crazy people.
corner.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they can pop out of anywhere. And that's where they took her. And I guess Diddy was there with D-Rock and his other security people, like three or four people. It was
Mm.
three or four dudes and then her and Diddy. And they were
Mm.
like, okay, so we just found out that you used to work for Suge. If we find out that anything happened, think of like um Godfather. They
Mm.
said to her, they surrounded her and they were like, and this she was boo-hooing about this today at court. She said that they said to her, if we find out that Suge knows anything about what we got going on, you will end up in the East River
Not the East River.
immediately. I know the
What?
East River. I know, Cap. He said you will end up in the East River immediately, expeditiously. If we find out that Suge Knight finds out anything about what we have going on here in camp, we're gonna blame it on you. and you will be in the East River tonight. Do you understand? That's on day one of her job.
Mm. Yeah, she definitely wasn't getting paid enough.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay.
I can't.
Anyway, all right. Well, I will leave you guys alone. If anything, I am just this it's like a movie. This trial
It's
is like a
crazy.
movie.
It's like Law and Order. It's
It's
like an episode of
crazy.
Law and Order.
It's crazy. You
Minus,
can't even believe this shit's real.
Yeah,
minus
but it
the cop
is.
and
That's the scary
detectives and
part.
stuff. Yeah, but it's
Hmm.
real. Yeah, and it's really happened. It's just
All right,
crazy.
y'all. Well, great show as usual. I
Thank
will see you
thank
guys
you.
again
Thank
soon.
you.
I'll let you guys wrap up, but thank you
Yes,
again. I
this
had a
is
great
about
Thank you,
that
time as
time.
Princess.
usual. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Haitian
chat.
Princess. Thank you.
All right,
And
y'all. Good
all
night.
right,
Good
all right.
night.
Good night.
All right, bye.
Later. All right, so it's about that time because yeah, it's 20 minutes past my time. It's always
Yeah,
a pleasure
this was a
hanging out with
fun
you guys.
show. Fun show.
This was good. This was good. This was good. Even though Darnell has done a lot of shit. This has been a good show as always. I enjoy all the shows, especially when we get time to dialogue and go back and forth with each other. That's always cool. Yeah. So parting, of course, we'll be back Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. Stay aware, stay abreast, stay woke. Um, do not sleep on these people because they're not sleeping on you. All right.
Right.
Please, like, and I mean that in all sincerity, stay up on these people because they are not sleeping on you. Be on top of whatever benefits you receive and know what you do need to keep them if in fact they are talking about cutting your set benefit, because when it happens, it will happen and you won't get a letter telling you you got time to do XYZ. They will just
Right.
chop it. Okay. So, in all seriousness, be serious about your business, and your business should be about maintaining your way of life. Right. Um, Other than that, that's all I got. Until next week, Brother Nate, you got any parting words for the people?
Oh no, you pretty much said it
Before
all.
before
Just
we
stay
get on
alert.
out of here.
And
Um,
don't assume that these bills that they're writing, you have
hmm,
to really look into them because they're hiding stuff inside these bills. They're
right,
right now they're hitting highlight important things,
right.
but
With the undercover.
all the undercover stuff is
Mhm.
being hidden within.
Yeah, yeah,
And
for
they won't
sure.
talk about that because they'll talk about something else that affects somebody else, but something may pertain to you. So don't assume that it doesn't.
Yeah, and definitely shout out again to Haitian Princess for the
Yes, thank
recap
you.
of the Diddy trial because I haven't been watching it. So thank you so much
Yes.
for all of
We're
that.
gonna call you the Diddy
Right,
Whisperer.
we got you right. She's the Diddy updater.
Mm.
So that's cool. We'll do that. So as we do these, and towards the end, we'll have a Diddy update on what's going on with the trial. That'll be your thing. I'll leave that entirely up to you. I'll even get you a little intro going
Mm. All right.
to get you a little news update on what's going on
That's
with the
right.
Diddy trial. I mean, it's
Make
only
sure
a
I have
couple of
oil
days.
in it.
Right. Make sure it's got a lot of oil. You like to be lubricated.
I tell you, you just can't make this shit up.
You just can't. You really cannot. All I see is Nipsey Russell in my head. Like,
Oh, stop.
add some oil to me, and those who can't lubricate, sure got it made and dancing and shit. And I'm just thinking about baby oil, all type of shit. It's just crazy. Just crazy. But yeah, this is real life, and people actually live through this.
Yeah.
So definitely don't want to make fun of the people's pain, but it's just really that crazy that all this stuff was allowed to happen. Like who orchestrated all this? Like, yeah, granted, he may be a sick individual, like I said, but he wasn't just doing this shit on his own. Somebody introduced him to this way of life,
Right.
and he's been carrying it on. And it's like, who's that person? Is my question. But anyway, like I said, just know that things are changing and stay on top of your stuff because these bills will affect how So please, how you feel? Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Am I back? Yeah, I
Okay.
know,
Oh
right?
yeah.
It disappeared for a second.
Paid
Um,
that damn Diddy.
you're right. It's just a tax cut to the rich and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, this stuff
Right.
really is affecting everyday people. They're cutting social benefits, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, all those things. Your grandparents who don't have the ability to forego 3 and 4 months because they have a wealthy son or son-in-law, daughter-in-law, or whatever that can float their bills until they get their little extra money to play with. No, these are people that have their everyday lives depend upon the subsidies, and for them to just not be thought of or as being thought of as a burden to the rest of the nation is crazy to me. And it should be crazy to you too, because this is even going to turn a lot of people who live in nursing homes out if they cut these programs. Like this is gonna be big, a whole big deal. They talking about, oh, it's just gonna hurt for a little bit. Yeah, you'll see how bad it hurts when your people cannot afford to live how they've been living any longer due to these cuts. To give people who already have money more money to do what? Trickle it down to you because you've been such a good person. Has it worked yet? Almost 40 years into this whole trickle down economics theory, has it worked? The answer is no, it hasn't. And it won't. It just helps wealthy people remain wealthy, and it helps the gap of wealth and inequality stretch larger. Um, so, that's all I got. That's all I got. Um, yeah, I don't know. Till next time, America. That's all I got. Peace and increase.